Welcome back, class. Today we're reading task sheet 170 for lighting system diagnosis. This is just basic lighting diagnosis.
We're going to be doing it for a 1995 Honda Civic. Currently, as you see, one headlight is on, one headlight is off. And what we need to do is determine why that headlight is not working and check all the things that are on the task sheet. So let's get to it. So first off, we're going to check what type of light bulb was actually used inside the headlight. So we're going to remove this air duct, which just slides off. And inside, we will find a harness, which unplugs. We'll find a rubber boot, which pulls off. And there will be a little tiny spring right there. And we're going to push on the little spring. It's going to hinge over. That's the little spring right there. And then we can pull the bulb out. Looking at the bulb right away, we don't see any corrosion or black spots. You do see some blue rings because it's a halogen. And then we want to look and see what type of bulb is it. In this case, it's an actual H4 bulb. The headlight assembly here is glass on the front and plastic on the back. It mounts to the car. There are two adjusting locations for the headlight inside this little tiny hole and one inside this little hole. They're really hard to see. There are no level bubbles on this headlight assembly. Now, before we just throw in a new bulb, we're going to make sure we actually have power and ground to the headlight socket. In this case, when we look at the H4 bulb, there's one bulb with two elements inside and three prongs on the back. So you have three spots to check, one ground and two power. To do this, we're just going to use a handy dandy test light, and we're first going to hook it up to the battery to the ground terminal. Once we're there, we can touch over to positive, make sure that our test light here actually lights up. Yay, it does. In this case, we're going to use our test light, now that we know it's good, to test the power and the ground for the low beam on the actual connector of the headlight. So in this case, the low beam power, since we're connected to ground, is the top connector, which lights up nice and bright. And then the right side connector is our ground. So we're going to switch which side our test light's connected to on the battery from negative to positive, and we're going to test it on ground. Lights up. But this time we want to make sure we're not just laying this around, because if we just sit it somewhere else, the test light will also light up. Next, we're going to come back and we're going to test the right side terminal, making sure that it lights up. In this case, it does light up. So now we determine we have power and ground to the low beam side of the headlight. And in this case, therefore, we can determine what's actually wrong and why this light bulb won't light up. But that is for you to have to find out and tell me. I'm not going to tell you. Good luck on filling out the task sheet, and I'll see you next time.